All right, guys. Chad with Encore again. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So we have a great conversation, and it's worth talking about because now we're kind of finally seeing the dip of premiums in silver. Correct?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Things
For
are kind
sure.
of, last 3 years have been kind of haywire and everything's kind of starting to come back down to earth. Probably not where it was pre 2019, maybe 2018, but definitely closer to
Not
what
too
the
far
norm
off,
is.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you had taken out some inventory here, and we have lots of Silver Eagles. We have a raw one. We got some generics, some bars. Let's talk about these items here because we've seen kind of like this. I don't know. It's not a resurgence, but we've seen just a massive amount of different Silver Eagles, and I know it's been more of a bullion thing,
Right.
but is it a matter of these things trying to become and identify as numismatic because of the premiums on them, or what's kind of like the story?
Yeah,
with that?
I mean, I think that's the case. Quite honestly, I've never been able to give a great explanation to people why the premiums on Eagles are so much more beyond the fact it's a government mint product and there's the potential to future numismatic value because it is a coin and a bullion versus just solely a bullion. I don't know that changes enough to where I'm like, I'd buy Eagles. Usually the premiums to me don't dictate, hey, let's buy Eagles unless you're buying, you come in, you're gonna buy 2-3 ounces of silver. So there's different types of people who consider themselves silver stackers. And there's, we get our guys in here who they come in and they're gonna buy an ounce or two at a time, 5 ounces here, 5 ounces there. Then we get people who come in and they're like, I want $10,000, I want $80,000, I want bulk silver. Different buyers, if you're buying 1 or 2 ounces at a time, you're a silver stacker, pay a couple bucks more for an Eagle here and there. If you just want an Eagle, you want an Eagle for this year, you want an Eagle for next year, you want a Britannia, a Kangaroo, or something that's a government mint product that usually has a higher premium.
Sure.
1 or 2 at a time, a couple bucks, probably not going to ruin your day. You get $10,000 worth of silver. Now you see a real dramatic difference in buying Eagles versus Buffaloes.
I know you had crunched some numbers and we had talked about it. Do you care to kind of provide some of those analytics of like, hey, if you went and spent X
for sure.
this, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, this is just real quick notes I jotted down, but based off today's Saturday, so the market's closed, but Friday's market price, $22.69 in silver. Premiums and everything, somebody walks in here, they want to buy $10,000 versus, $10,000 of US American Eagles. We're going to be, depending on year, back dates, we could do like $27.50 an ounce. Current dates, the 2024s, would be $28 an ounce. So with $10,000 worth of silver, on the cheaper ones, that's getting you 363 ounces of silver. Versus if you go with like a generic silver round, so like a Buffalo round, this is super common round right now. There's, I think, 5 or 6 mints make them. You walk into any bullion shop between here and Maine, they're going to say, oh, it's a silver Buffalo round. They've seen 10 million of them. We've sold 10 million of them.
We are incredibly familiar with that. That's kind of like the Walmart equivalent of silver there, which nothing wrong with that.
It's an affordable, low premium, reliable, easily recognized product. This is an older, probably from the 80s, Silver Eagle. Not to be confused with that Silver Eagle. Just says Silver Eagle.
Yeah, there's a little bit of artistic difference there that sunshine minting. Yeah, that's a very common assayer.
Yeah. So when you see these, you've got a printed weight. 1 ounce. You've got a printed purity 999 fine silver. That's your basic bullion piece versus a government piece is going to have a face value on it, so $1. Then it's going to say 1 ounce fine silver. The Canadian, some of the different countries will have a printed purity 4 nines, 3 nines. It depends on the country. But if you go in, so you're going to get for $10,000 363 of those. versus if you come in and you say, hey, I want $10,000, 1 ounce silver generic rounds, be it this or that or any other
Well, it says
design.
some of that because there's a bunch of different companies
Yeah.
and different makes and models.
Yeah, I mean, you got 50 years of people making generic silver round
Sure.
designs. So those right now, $24.87 an ounce. You're looking at 402 of them. So 402 versus 363. That is 39 more ounces of silver you're getting
Wow.
at $10,000.
Yeah.
So then you keep multiplying that up. If you're getting $20,000, $80,000. I mean, you're talking about potentially thousands of dollars more in silver. So if the goal to what you're doing is to stack fun stuff that you like because it's nice and it's fun to look at, then hey, Eagles are cool. If your goal is, I want to get the most bang for my buck, I want to get the most silver that I can get for the money that I have, that's going to be a good product that I can go and have an exit strategy on. I mean, you're buying it for the potential of it's going to go up in value and you're going to sell it. So you want a good product. You want something that someone's going to recognize, and then in turn,
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to give you money for it so I can turn around and resell it. If it's weird or off-brand or not something that's familiar.
And there's also that conversation
Sure.
if the dollar kicks the bucket
Yeah.
and then we had to rely on bartering things like this.
Yeah.
You know, you go into, say, a grocery store, or if you're going to buy guns and ammunition, they're probably going to value the Silver Eagle on par with what a generic is. I would assume, because
Yeah.
the prices are based off of fiat
Yeah,
currency.
off at that point,
Yeah.
an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. Now, it's tough with that. We're talking about a hypothetical situation, so we don't know. But that would be my thought process, or things that I've seen or explained
Yeah.
in writings of other countries where people have had to turn in metal for some form of fiat currency for the purpose of being able to barter. At that point, an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. They don't care that you have a spotless 1996 Eagle. They're not going to give you X amount more for it. At that point, that is what it is. Now, I do like the Eagles. I'll tell people sometimes in a bartering situation, if it's a person to person, like you've got a neighbor who has a boat that you like, your neighbor might trade the boat for the Eagles, because you can go, oh, I've heard of those Eagles. Like, Eagles are a really popular product. They're pushed in media. They're in the back of NRA magazines and sports fishing magazines, things like that. So people who aren't familiar with bullion, usually the first question they come in and they ask us, hey, I've been thinking about investing in silver. How about those Eagles? Because that's what's pushed out there a lot. So it's what more novice silver people know about.
It's more kind of like this is the status symbol of this.
Sure, yeah.
And it's recognizable, and you know, it's kind of like a proud ownership to have Eagles.
Yeah.
Rather than just the run-of-the-mill generics.
Yeah.
Like, we look at the Buffalo round here, it doesn't specify a brand.
Yeah,
right?
a brand doesn't have a year. Some of them will. Some of them have a mint mark. Some of them will have a year on them. Most of them don't, because they really and truly are just a bullion piece of metal. So they try not to get super specific on it.
Yeah.
Versus the Eagles, I mean, it's hard to knock the Eagle. It probably sounds like I'm knocking the Eagle, saying, oh, they're more expensive. It's a great product. They're beautiful coins. They're highly reliable, in as much as how much the person who's buying them trusts or distrusts the government, I suppose. But it's American Mint product. It's nice stuff. Nothing wrong with it. You just got to know you're paying more for the right to own it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of conversation on that. You know, it's an election year, and there's a lot of uncertainty. The Fed has, you know, made on a couple of different comments that they intend on lowering the interest rates, which will play a huge factor. And that's kind of why I guess premiums are lower than it's been in 5-6 years. And that also, I guess, includes premium bars too. Like Johnson Matthey has been not overpriced, but it's priced with a nice premium because a lot of these are not being made anymore. Is that
on the 10-ounce bars especially? I don't know if they're making new 100-ounce bars at Johnson Matthey or not. I know for a long time in this land of higher premiums, Engelhart and Johnson Matthey's have held a premium. Someone wants to come in and buy a 100-ounce bar. If I've got to turn around and order it from a distributor, we're going to have to pay X amount more over a Royal Canadian Mint or a Sunshine Mint 100-ounce bar or an Asahi Mint 100-ounce bar. That being said, now everything's kind of come back down to earth. We ordered a couple 100-ounce bars for a guy earlier this week, and I was shocked. I looked at distributors, and they were the same price as Royal Canadian. They were the same price. Everything was the same price across the board. So, so everything is kind of coming back down to. I don't want to say it's normal, because if people have been into bullion in the last 3 years, it's not normal for them. But we've been doing this for 13 plus years, 14 years, right on there. And so that's abnormal. You know, we're used to silver buffaloes at $1.50 to $1.95 over, eagles $3 to $3.50, and things had gone really out of control. I mean, midway through last year, I think eagles were $19 an ounce over, or something insane. So that's how far we've pulled back on that.
Yeah, it's almost like buying 2 silver rounds instead of 1 silver eagle.
Yeah.
You know, it was close enough of a conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. Now everything is kind of like tied to the dollar and all that. If the premiums jump up that much during a time when, say, the Silicon Valley Bank went under and all that, because there was a lot of banking fears involved, why is it that the actual price of silver on the COMEX or whatever it is, doesn't rise to where the premiums are? Is it because it's more tied to the paper aspect of it? Or?
Yes. So this is the part where the government's going to come for me. No, I'm kidding.
They're going to come for the both of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation.
They already do.
It's certainly, the price of silver is more tied to the paper market. So buying shares of SLV.
Sure. Yeah.
Now with that, they are regulated to hold 3% of what it is that they sell. So a lot of times people buy a product like that. I don't want to get in the weeds on that. It's not my area of expertise, the investment market. So I'm not saying don't go buy this, buy this. That's up to what you want to do. What you know, your finances are your finances. You work hard for your money. You can make the decisions. What I will say is, I've had people who say, "Oh, I'm buying silver. I'm buying it in the form of a stock. I can cash it out." You can, the same way you can cash out any other stock. You buy stock in Apple. You don't show up and they don't give you a bunch of iPhones. You sell your stock for the perception of value in the company. So it's the same thing in the silver market. The perceived value of silver is going up. You don't show up with a wheelbarrow anywhere and say, "Fill me up on all my silver." You never take ownership of that. If you really push the limit, they'll have 3% for you, which is next to nothing. So it's a different form of investment that way versus physical precious metals, where you're buying into that. The beauty of this is the tangibility of some sort of wealth on hand in an easy place to get to. Doesn't have to be as extreme as the fall of society, could happen, but just something there's a lot of storms and it got windy and our oak tree fell through our house and we need a new roof. Then you come in to a place like ours, you sell enough of those, you get cash on hand, you pay someone to fix your roof, you've got it there. Worst case scenario, if it's a Saturday, your bank is closed, you don't have access to a safety deposit box, or you can't cash out your investments, you've got the ability to have something on hand when you need it.
That's a perfect conversation for that.
Yeah.
Because there are people that really don't know the difference.
Sure.
They're like, why do I buy physical when I could just go, call my investment banker or whatever and say, I want to order 1,000 ounces of paper, but it doesn't guarantee you the tangibility.
Exactly.
Which a lot of people do love, and that's kind of like the premium that you pay to own that. Now, with that being said, talking about premiums,
yes,
you had brought out a few graded silver eagles. Now, these are fun, exciting, but at the same time, we gotta let everybody know that there's kind of like a numismatic attachment with this.
Sure.
What are kind of some of the things, the pitfalls that you could come across when you take ownership of these and then decide like, hey, it's time that I need to sell these for whatever. What are your thoughts on graded eagles, and do you particularly like having these?
So that's a loaded question.
It's very loaded,
Yeah.
but you know,
The
it's,
truth is, I like graded eagles. I like graded eagles so long as the person buying the graded eagles has an understanding of what it is they're doing and why it is they are doing what they're doing. So if you're buying MS69 eagles and you're buying a mail order catalog, or you're buying them in your local shop and you're paying, I don't know if I have a price on this one, so $55 on that one. I mean, that is we just talked about it, that's a $27 to $28 coin. Now it's in an NGC holder, so that's $30 right there. It's got a grade, so you know what it is. It's authenticated, it's verified. If your goal is, I am buying MS69 American Silver Eagles to set aside in a collection, so I have one from 1986 to current, I'm always gonna have the current year, I'm putting together a collection, then hey, the $55, $60, say whatever the price is, that's fine. If that makes your heart happy, it's a hobby. It's something you do for fun. It's something you do to spend time with family, to spend time in your local coin shop looking to complete your collection, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're buying those because you think, I'm gonna need to trade those in and silver's gonna go up, you're paying 25, I mean, you're paying 100% premiums or more to own that. That's not probably the wisest investment strategy.
Oh, I was going to say from a dealer's perspective, right? When say someone comes in with one Silver Eagle that's raw compared to a 69, which I think you and I had a conversation. You see 69s more on par of what a raw Silver Eagle out of the government tube would be, right?
Well, and yeah, you got to figure a 69 is a terrific grade if you've got Carson City Morgan Silver Dollar, or you have something where 69s don't exist. A 69 is one tick away from being a perfect grade. It's a brand new coin. They mint them, they ship them to NGC and PCGS, they grade them right on the spot. No one's ever owned those coins. Sometimes they have people send them in, but so many of them go out, they're there on first day of issue. So they're pre-sent out to the grading facilities. So you've got a coin that's not even a perfect coin, it's brand new. So to me, that is a bullion coin. Now, I don't want to break people's hearts, so I'll usually pay a little bit more for them because obviously we have that one at 55. It's a little older year. We can sell them for a little bit more. The problem becomes we could sell it for $10 more maybe than this coin, maybe 20.
Yeah.
But who knows when. So instead of, this is a coin that if you walk through the door right now, I'd probably pay you $1 or $2 above whatever current market price is, because I can turn around and we can sell that here for $4 to $5 over current market price, probably before the end of the week. This guy you're gonna bring in, you're gonna sell it maybe worth $35, $40, so we can make $50, so we can make $10 on it. But that $10 is gonna come sometime between now and I have no idea when, because they're not super popular, because for that reason, it's unless you find that collector's like, I just so happen to need
that
it.
point, you know, because it's funny because I have stackers I know, and they're conflicted, you know, about, well, you know, I'll buy both.
Yeah.
Okay. And then some people, especially the newer stackers, say, well, I love graded eagles, but I don't think they quite understand the difference between, say, if you had more of these and the same level quantity of these, that, you know, you're going to end up losing more at the end.
You're going to lose more. I mean, I would say, in my opinion, if you're going to shell out the extra money and buy a graded eagle, go a little bit higher and get a 70 at least. The 70s will still move the market a little bit because it at least is a 70. Getting a brand new coin that doesn't have a perfect grade, you might as well, you can get a tube of them. If you buy a brand new 2024 mint tube of Eagles, you're going to have 20 coins in there that are at least MS69, if not some 70s. But you're getting them for $28, not $55. So I would say if you want to go that route, pay extra, get the 70. Again, that's just my opinion. if you've already built a nice collection of 69s, then hey, at least you can get in and you can complete your collection, and it's not going to be as pricey every year. But it's really tough. I know a lot of other dealers too. They look at those and they'll just tell people straight to their face, that is a bullion coin. I'm going to pay for that 69 the exact same price that I'm going to pay for a loose one, because it makes no difference.
Yeah. And then, some people, depending on what they need at that time, they'll either just walk out or they'll tap out and they're like, well, he has a point or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we have both of them here, is to kind of illustrate the difference. Like if you're a casual stacker and you had, say, a couple $100 a month to invest in silver,
yeah.
probably easier and better to have that there.
Yeah.
Or more of this rather than buying 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah.
Because the trade-off at the end when you need the money the most, again, as a silver stacker, wouldn't make as much sense here, but this is more of the collectibility. I mean, this right here.
Yeah, that
Check
guy.
this out. I don't know if you guys remember the 25th anniversary set that crashed the Mint website 12 years ago, 13 years ago, at what, $500 issue price
It's
or something?
500, yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. And, they went up to $2,000, just moments after these sold out, and people got their guaranteed order numbers. And how much is this PCGS 70 set going for today?
That is right now, high-end retail, probably $750. But or maybe on eBay you get, if you get someone who absolutely really wants it, a little bit more than that. But it's pretty safely a $720 to $750 set.
Yeah, still a premium set.
Yeah.
Again, probably not for the casual stacker, or even it's collectible.
Yeah, definitely not for the casual stacker. It's definitely a collector's piece. So, I mean, I think there's ways to do things and, again, live in two separate worlds at the same time. It's just with the right products. So to the end that raw Silver Eagle has a little bit higher premium but has the potential to be numismatic, versus just a generic silver round is always just going to be an ounce of silver. That you can be a collector and you can be a stacker at the same time. That's just kind of a stacker. This stuff here is, you're just a collector. You're not stacking silver. I mean, I suppose you are, because it is silver, but even if you're like,
it's a pretty design.
It's pretty
I
design.
can see the love affair of, collecting these as they sit, but
and there's some wonderful pieces. The US Mint makes no shortage of different products. There's all kinds of third-party companies that make all kinds of different holders and different variations, and all of that stuff is fine. I just like for our customer base to kind of know what it is they're buying, so that they know, like, well, I want this glow-in-the-dark Silver Eagle.
don't get me started.
Yeah.
The painted Silver Eagle.
The painted eagles.
Yeah.
My mom loves the painted eagles. She's like, if you like them, that's great, but you just have to know you don't have a double premium exit strategy on a painted eagle. You probably have less premium exit strategy because most people don't like them. But if you just like it, great. Then you don't need to justify anything to anybody. Again, it's your hard-earned money. If it makes you happy, buy it. But I just don't like when people buy it with the thought that this is going to be worth more money.
Hey, Mike from HSN disagrees with that. But
that's the thing. There's a million different opinions. I'm the one that's correct. No, I'm kidding.
You're the one that trades it back and forth.
Yeah. This is just in what we see on a day-to-day basis and what we can give to people. Usually people bring in Silver Eagles and they're happy with the transaction. They bring in graded stuff and they're going, ooh. But it's like...
because it's like, I remember paying X for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I'm kind of duped here, because it's like, why am I only getting 70% of what I paid for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there is a difference. Thank you for the explanation on Silver Eagles versus generics and graded. Real quick, tell everyone about your social media and how they could reach out to you.
So Encore Golden Coin, we're on Facebook at Encore Golden Coin. We're on Instagram, Encore Golden Coin. our website, www.encoregoldencoin.com.
And you're going to be on Whatnot here real soon.
We're going to be on Whatnot as soon as possible. We're trying to get that stuff figured out. We're excited about it, and we're ready to get on there and meet some people.
Sounds good.
All
All
right.
right. Hey, thank you, Chad.
Thanks a bunch. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And yeah, you guys like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
All right.